Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hi, I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and it's such a great morning. We are in the winter months, and it's pretty cold around here, pretty cold. Everyone has, and I'm kind of fluffing my hair because it's, really curly today. I kind of twisted it pretty, well, not really tight, but, when I hydrate my hair a lot, when I hydrate with like the leave-in conditioners, I usually will get a tighter twist once it dries. But everyone is just really bundling up. But I talk about the hair when I think of bundling up. That's what you do. You extra hydrate because a percentage of your moisture is going to dissipate. So I wet hydrate, and then I actually put moisture, a more solid hydration on top of that. And in some cases, depending on the temperature, how low it goes, if you're in those sub-degree, like below zero levels, then you need to put oil on top of that because you are going to have more problems with your moisture levels dropping. So let's get right to it. Okay, we're in the book, Black Woman's we're in Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age, and we talked about the epidermis, and we're going to be talking about the dermis and the hypodermis today. Alright, so let's talk about the dermis now. The next layer of skin is the dermis, which lies beneath the epidermis. Now, we all know that. And that's what we call like the true skin. Like the epidermis, the dermis has its own layers, two thick layers that house in the internal portion of the follicle. And what is the follicle? The follicle is a tube-like impression in the scalp. It also houses the areas, the base of the actually, it houses the base of the follicle, the derma papilla. It houses, which is the heart of the follicle. It houses blood vessels and arteries and things like that are going to make that connection with and feed our follicle so our hair grows. So when you damage inside the dermis, I call it first-degree skin damage. When you burn, you notice it's a first-degree burn. So when you have burns and you burn your scalp with chemicals or with heated tools, you may burn like the epidermis, and that's first degree. And I think I just misspoke. But anyways, when you burn the epidermis, that's first-degree skin damage. But when you burn the dermis, it's second-degree skin damage, or it's second-degree burns. And the danger to those second-degree burns or skin damage, and I'll kind of differentiate the two. The danger in this is that you can destroy the follicle, develop scar tissue, and that can be very problematic as it relates to trying to grow or regrow hair in cases where you've lost hair. Now, when we speak of first and second degree burn, we're speaking of where the skin has overheated to the point where it's just burned away. That can happen with chemicals, that can happen with heated tools, but then there's also first and second degree skin damage, and that occurs when you have a situation where the skin has received some type of consistent stress or pressure or friction, dehydration, something that wears the skin away to the point where the epidermis is gone, and then you're now in the dermis. So it's still similar in that you're damaging away your top protective cells, which is your epidermis, and you're getting into that area where all of the precious cells that are alive and organs that are alive, like, for example, your follicle. This is important to you because many people will say, well, I'm losing hair and it must be stress, diet, hormones, genetics. But there's a different type of hair loss, and we're going to speak about more as we get into the rest of our book, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. That's an external follicular loss. And you've heard me talk about external and internal. We're going to get into that more. So when you lose hair or lose when you damage into your follicle, into the dermis area, there is a possibility, the danger is you could lose hair internally, but it began externally. So you started out with something that happened on the surface, which wore into the actual dermis, and it causes you to destroy your actual follicles. Now, I don't know, maybe you got it. Okay, my little demonstration with the hands. You know, I should do better, shouldn't I? But I should have boards and charts. But sometimes I used to do things like that, and people will go, oh, no. But I'm going to do it. I think charts are appropriate. I've seen some really, really creative videos online where people are using all kinds of things to demonstrate the follicle and all that. So I think it's really cute. So I just thought I'd use my hands to talk about dermis damaging underneath. But anyways, I got lost in that for just a minute. Okay, back on point, Lisa. The point is, if you damage within that dermis area, you can lose your follicle. And if you lose your follicle, destroy, you lose the ability to grow hair. Because there's no tube-like impression. The hair has to have that little teeny tiny organ called a hair follicle. You can damage above that area. We're going to talk about this even more, but you can damage the epidermis, and the epidermis can create blockages, but that's temporary. That's why in our institute I'm able to treat patients who have that debris and blockages around the mouth or the lip of their follicle, which rests in the epidermis. But when we get into the dermis, that's why we go from a 110 to a 50 all the way to a 400x lens in order to find these plugs or find the blockages. But that, again, we're going to talk about more as we move on. You have to keep your scalp healthy. If you're not careful, you will disturb the renewing process, and that will be very problematic as it relates to trying to regrow hair and trying to allow that hair to emerge. Renewing process where the skin sheds its dead cells and new cells come to the surface. That's why cleansing is so important, because if you don't clean away debris, it creates blockages around the lip or the mouth of the follicle, eventually creating a house for pathogens to breed and grow around the skin. So there are lots of reasons why we have to protect and preserve our epidermis so that we can protect and preserve our dermis. Excuse me. The hypodermis. The hypodermis layer lies beneath the dermis. It's really that fatty tissue that actually works as an insulation for the body. Well, that's a layer most people don't talk about much when they're teaching and training and reading about the skin. But this is where we anchor. It actually helps to anchor the actual skin, the dermis and the epidermis to the body, and everything else is going on. A lot of the base of the hair follicle, the base of everything, sweat glands, lymph vessels, its connective tissues, all of that rests in that hypodermis. This is another thing to remember, and there's so much to say about these layers, and the reason I'm reading from my book is because I want to make sure I keep it concise, because you know I tend to be all over the place sometimes. Due to its direct connection, I think this is very important, to the body systems, the hypodermis actually facilitates the negative actions that occur when someone suffers from an internal follicular hair loss. For example, if medication, people speak of medication and how the medication cause problems, where it has to go through the system to get to that area and cause problems of the follicle. As we age, and let's talk about this a minute. Our skin ages. It can age. This aging process influences how our scalp ages. Scalp is skin. But getting older does not have to affect how healthy your scalp is. Understanding your scalp gives you a different perspective concerning your hair and scalp. It's really important. Allowing you to view the scalp as an important foundation of healthy hair growth. This, if you understand, because you have to think of it as the foundation. If I have a healthy scalp, I've got healthy hair growth. Now, some people say I'm simplifying it too much or oversimplifying it. Some may say, oh, there's so much to hair loss than a healthy scalp. True. That is very true. But there's a type of hair loss that many women, particularly African American women or women of color, even women with natural hair, suffer from, and it stems from scalp disorders, diseases, blockages. So we have to acknowledge that. And so that's why I speak of this as being the foundation. Okay. Using what you are learning in this book, and so if you don't have Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at any age, I highly recommend that you go out and get it, because you need tools to empower yourself. And it will help you to go back and reference it. Okay, this is what's happening to my scalp. Let me go and look and see what that means. That's going to help you a lot, but in a chatty kind of, friendly kind of, not so boring, but yet and still getting right to the point quickly. And that's what I tried to do with this book. Once you know what's wrong, you can start doing what's right. It's really simple as that, because sometimes it's really that you're doing something that you shouldn't do, or you need to do something a little different. You don't know what to do, and so you're doing nothing, which is still a negative. We talked about that. Let me get your questions up so I can answer those for you as well. I forgot to pull all those up. Okay, let's get you up in the system. So just remember that scalp is skin. Just to take away, you have to protect your scalp you have to protect and preserve your scalp. Because if you don't protect and preserve your scalp, then you have no foundation. Hair is not just floating above your head. It is an appendage of the scalp. Crucial to remember that. I know you know that, but sometimes I think we forget, don't you? I think we forget that our scalp is skin, and that it's not, the hair is anchored to that. Hair is an appendage of it. And we have to be very, very careful in how we deal with our scalp or protect and preserve. Things like co-washing, problematic, and I tell you guys that all the time. Co-washing, where you're just putting conditioner on and not really shampooing, I think that it's a problem. No pooing is really a problem. That's worse, because like co-washing, I think you shampoo sometimes and then sometimes you don't. But be very, very, very careful. Okay, let's get to your questions. I have not read them. Hi, put your headsets. Oh, that was me telling y'all to put your headsets on. I went back and listened to these videos, and I tell you, I couldn't hear myself very well. This particular, the last one. And so, I don't know. I just said put your headsets on. So if you can't hear me, and I feel like I'm yelling this morning on my collar, if you cannot hear me, then put your headset on. Okay, this one says, sorry, I had to continue. Okay, let's go start at the bottom, because sometimes, just sometimes. Alright, let's get all the questions in. It says, that was me. It says, you're the best. Thank you. Mwah. You're the best too. Hi, hair doctor. Or Dr. Hair. Hi, Dr. Akbari. Why you don't have a profile picture? I don't have a profile picture? I thought I had a profile picture. Well, I'm going to get a profile picture. She said I don't have a profile picture. Well, let me just write myself a note there. Profile picture. Okay, I'm going to take care of that right away, really. Okay. Alright, and it says, so you are a doctor, so sorry about my previous comment asking if you are. Wish you would have set me straight. Oh, listen to me, guys. I love y'all. I am a trichologist. I'm not a medical doctor. And I just don't want to talk about that much because I don't want to take this, because we really get into these. Okay, I can't say this. I love you asking. You have a right to ask. I have no problem with you asking. Just remember that. And I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, thank you. But I just want to make sure I get to your questions. That's what's important. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. I have a question. You said that the pH level of our shampoo should be between 4.5 and 5.5. Should all our products be in that range, including rinse outs and leave-in conditioners? Very good. No. You need to stay as acidic, on the acidic side, low alkaline as possible. The cleansing is crucial because when you start to remove debris from your hair and cosmetics, then your hair is just exposed as well as your skin. So the pH will drop very low or rise very high very quickly, and you don't have that protection. So anytime you're cleaning your scalp, you need to stay within that range. But you never want to use high pH shampoos, conditioners, leave-in conditioners. Most of your conditioners are going to be slightly acidic anyway, so you're pretty safe with your conditioners, but mainly your shampoo is what you have to be very, very careful about. Next one. Hi, Dr. Akbari. Mrs. Matthews here. Hi, darling. How are you, Mrs. Matthews? She said, I sent a video to your email. Please let me know if you got it or not. I did get it. It was wonderful. I'm so excited about that. I'm really searching my email box because I get so many emails. And I'm really searching for y'all's videos. So I'm just kind of putting them all in a pile. And I'm going to, this month is my month, but really it looks like it may end up being February before we can get that page up. But my web designer is working on it. She's working on it. She's working on it, which it should have been up in January, but she's working on it. So yes, I did get it. I will see you at the end of the month. I'm so excited. Oh, you coming to see me again. Yay, this is great. Well, Mrs. Matthews, we are planning to open a, the secret's going to be out, a natural hair salon. Yay! And so we've been working on that. That's why some of the things on the, with you guys, which I make sure I see you every week. I skipped a couple of weeks. I'm so busy doing things, getting ready for that natural hair salon. So we have on the 2nd, we are having, which it's sometime in February. I won't say the 2nd because they move a little bit. Sometime in February, we're having this major, well, I say major, but kind of sneak preview, major sneak preview, because we have so many friends that will be there to see it. And I'm going to help stylists across the country who are working with natural hair. I want to help individuals who are working with their blogs with natural hair, just from a trichologist standpoint. And when you come in and when you see how we do things, I just had to get into that part of my industry, the natural hair salon business. And I say business because it is a business, but for the most part, I'm doing it so that people will really know how to take care of their natural hair. And I'm so excited. So Mrs. Matthews, if you can come at the time, it'd be great. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see, for you to see how, I can't wait to see how my hair has progressed since I've been on the program. To God be the glory in Jesus. Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next one. Nikki Love. Hi, girlfriend. Hi. Hello, my beautiful sis. I know. Okay, that's what you guys are. You're my sis. You're my sisters. I love you, my sisters. So that's why I gotta say family, but sisters. Well, the men will just say brothers, and yes, but the sisters is the good one. Thank you, Nikki, for that. See, she's always got something to help me to push on, to love on y'all a little bit more. Okay, I was so excited when you got my video. I did. You were so cute. It's so sweet. And just, oh my goodness. I just wanted to take that video. It was so sweet. You are truly, absolutely beautiful inside and out. And you are too, Nikki. Y'all just don't know what you guys, my sisters, what y'all do for me every Thursday. You just don't know. It allows me to truly come alive. And I just love it. I love to hear you say that. Question, can I use your product? Okay, she said, I love to hear you say that. Wait a minute. Should you really, okay, She said, should really know you since we're on the Scalp from the book. The book. Yes. I love to hear you say that. Okay, that's really, I get all excited. The book, because in the book, there's knowledge. I'll say it again. The book. Okay. All right. That one was for you, Nikki. Okay. All right. Now she has a question. Could I use your product, Moisture Plus, as a deep conditioner since it's so thick and creamy? Isn't it wonderful? It's like, okay, I like it as a moisturizer. I'm just curious as how it could work as a deep conditioner. Now remember, deep conditioners are going to have things that allow you to balance. You have to balance. You have to have protein and moisture, because there's a delicate protein and moisture level within the hair strand that must stay balanced. Moisture Plus, as wonderful as it is only going to give you that hydration. There's not enough, even though we try to put little traces of protein in there, there's not enough to really deep condition, but it is wonderful. Other things you can do, Nikki, if you like, but it's really just to put on as a moisturizer. Okay, let's see. The next one. Hello, Dr. Akbari. I'm just wondering, how often should you clarify? I also want to say that there are so many hair care professionals and dermatologists that I have personally seen or know of other people who have wait a minute, let me get this again. She wants to know if you should how often you should clarify. Okay, and then she also wanted to say that there are so many hair care professionals and dermatologists that I have personally seen or know of other people who have seen then I think she wants to say, she said, sorry, I had to continue on a second post because I posted, I don't know, she did something, but she wanted to continue. I just wanted to say, not all hairstylists, trichologists, and dermatologists have the concerns to get to the root of the problem as you. So, it's so sad. Can I say something to you, and then I'll answer about the clarify? We have to work with what we have. If they don't have that level of understanding, not to insult, or that level, that's not their area of research. That's the best way to say it, because really, you've got some extremely smart, talented, creative stylists, dermatologists, creative in their work and how their understanding and their research. There are really, really some great folks out there. But if it's not their area of research, then you're not going to pull out of them what I'm giving you, because it may not be their area of research. I'm not going to say that they don't know or they're not concerned. I just believe that it's just not their area of research. And maybe they don't know, but it's for them to decide that. So don't be sad for them. One, pray for them if you believe they have something there and I've given it to you. Two, just know that God will give all of us our gifts and talents and our mission and what we should do. Everything in our purpose has to give God glory. Truly, that is what we're here for, to glorify God in anything He puts in our hand and to bless people. So I believe that we shouldn't judge or we shouldn't worry about that. We should just pray for and be thankful. Okay? All right. Now, to answer your question about clarifying, every time you shampoo, you need to clarify. What does clarify mean? Clarify means to put the hair at a pure, natural state. So you should clarify your hair each and every time you shampoo. You want your hair at a pure natural state. Why is that important? Because then you can determine what you need. So when you clarify and your hair feels rough and dry, then that tells you at a pure natural state your hair is dehydrated. You can have dry hair. I have naturally dry hair. But when I clean and clarify, my hair is not dehydrated. So it doesn't feel rough and hard. I go back, I condition, I balance, and then I move forward. But if I've got all this buildup on my hair, old products, if I shampoo with a conditioning shampoo, I'm not getting at a clean, pure, natural state. So then clarifying, I didn't clarify, I didn't clean. Clarify does not mean strip. Clarify means to put at a pure, natural state. Stripping removes what's unnatural and what's natural. Clarify just removes what's unnatural. I love you guys. See you next time. To God be the glory in Jesus. I'm your hair doctor. We're going to be back with, one more time for Nikki, the book. I love you guys. Love you, Miss Matthews. Love you, Nikki. Love you, sis. All my sis who I haven't called your name, but I love you too. Keep those videos coming because we're going to have a full page, a full album for all of my family. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.